Veronica Mars, I'm watching you. Private eyes.
Hello and welcome to your podcast, Veronica Mars. I'm Joe.
And I'm Travis, and I just got yelled at for eating my Christmas eggies.
No, oh my god. No, it's not that you can eat them all you want, but keep them out of the bag before you eat them. It's like,
I just have
while you're
loose chocolate all over my desk.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't know your life. Put it in a fucking bowl like other civilized people would instead of eating eggies out of a bag.
Whatever.
Do they come in a bag?
Yes.
I don't know. I have real candy here.
Well, you guys had the Cadbury chocolate. No, you guys don't have Cadbury there. Do you have Cadbury?
Yeah,
we
have
have
Cadbury
eggs, right? Easter eggs.
Yeah. Oh, so that's right. Those are just like the smaller versions of those.
Well, it's
right?
just like chocolate with like a hard
Eggies?
candy shell.
It's not like filled with
not
caramel
those.
or. Oh, that's what we
had those too, and then they had like the yolk inside, or the yolk, quote unquote.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I like the caramel.
Well, it's good if it's
better.
like a caramel or like the chocolate inside the chocolate. That's always good. But the weird cream thing that they use.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
It looks. It looks suspect.
Also, like sometimes I've had it where it's just like congealed and it's hard. Okay, this is not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about Easter candy.
No. Why not? Let's have a podcast about eggies.
I would love to have a
my dislike of
podcast
the word.
about Reese's peanut butter products.
I could that I feel like that'd be better as like a YouTube series.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to
I'd be
show
down for
the
a
product too.
It'd be so hard for us to do a podcast on different candies and junk food because I have no access to American junk food right now.
I think it was just the last episode we talked about this. Today we're here
having a podcast with
to talk about what we hope to get out of 2021, hope to leave behind in 2020 outside of the major obvious obstacles everyone wants to leave behind in 2020, and just talk about what's to come. Where do we want to see ourselves at the end of in a year from now? Not like a journey board or anything, but just something like that. But leaving behind 2020, a good thing that happened at the end was we did get Wonder Woman 84, despite its controversial opinions.
It's crazy how
It is insanity.
Okay, I can admit it's not a perfect film, but I really
not at all.
enjoyed it. But there's a lot of problems. I think it's really upsetting that the constant trope that female directors can't do superhero movies is only kind of reinforced, because Patty Jenkins made it very clear she did not want as much action. She wanted Wonder Woman to be passive. She got rid of Wonder Woman's sword. And it's okay, that's fine. But you also have to remember this movie technically goes into Batman v Superman and then Justice League.
Yeah, she's kind of a badass in those movies, like a fighter in those movies. I mean, I guess I could see if she's trying to build her to get to that, but I didn't feel that in this movie. Where she's oh no, I'm gonna have to pick up a sword and do something. And I liked the movie. I had a fun time with it, but
I watched it 3 times because I'm I'm getting my $30 worth.
So you spent 4 days watching it? Because that is a long movie.
No, I only had the movie for a 48-hour rental.
48 rentals. I have 45 left. I've only 3.
Because I watched it in the morning with my boyfriend and then in the evening afterwards. Because
that's half your day right there.
Well, I watched it because I was drawing while I watched it, and then I watched it. I didn't watch so I watched it 2.5 times. I skipped around the 3rd time to the stuff I liked,
all the Kristen Wiig stuff,
all the Kristen Wiig stuff.
Because let's be honest, she was the star of that movie. She did so good. I'm so proud of Kristen Wiig.
It's
so
weird.
Good.
It reminds me a lot of Batman Returns, and not just because Kristen Wiig has a very Michelle Pfeiffer, Selena Kyle vibe, but also I love Batman Returns, but Batman is the third character. Like, if you're gonna rate the screen time and stars of those films, Batman kind of like gets shortchanged in his own movie, which is great because like Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito bring it and kill it, but it's not a Batman movie. It's a Penguin Catwoman movie.
That's like honestly like that's my favorite part about Batman is everyone
but
that
but I think that's
Batman.
my problem. That's my problem with this movie is Wonder Woman gets very little screen time and development because she's stuck with Steve Trevor, which we did not need to bring him back.
That was
Chris
why
Pine,
did she
I
have
love
the
you,
worst story?
but
She had the worst story in the movie.
It made it really sad that she spent her entire life basically locked away and sad because the one guy she knew for like a week died.
And like, how long had it been since the first movie? Like 20 years? 30 years?
Well, no, because the first movie was in like World War One.
Oh, so yeah, it's been
like 80 years.
While. It's been a while that she has been pining over Pine. And
like, I get it. If that's your first dick, you like it's, but also, yeah.
No, okay, and then you didn't need to have the guy, like, the guy he actually was hotter than this Chris Pine.
I know. Also, I don't understand why Chris Pine, or why Steve Trevor came back as someone else's body. Because, like, if that was the consequence, or like the trick, then why was she losing her powers? Why did that wish have two tricks?
Well, yeah, well, but okay, and that's the issue with, like, the whole magic thing is, like, why is this the limitation with the magic? Like, they introduce this, like, really magical element and then don't set its boundaries or kind of explain it.
Because what I thought was happening, and, like, halfway through the movie, I even said it to my boyfriend, I'm like, because he's not super into superhero films, like, he liked the first Wonder Woman, and I kind of, like, made him watch this.
I made him like it?
But because he didn't really understand what was going on. And I'm like, oh, I think because Cheetah's getting the powers, it's siphoning from Wonder Woman. Because I'm like, that would make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to be like Diana, it would siphon her powers. I'm like, that would have been a little bit more of an interesting twist.
And then it didn't.
And then also, like, robbing us of a Kristen Wiig turning into Cheetah scene was... Because, like, the most iconic part of Batman Returns is Selena Kyle turning into Catwoman. Like, hands down.
It's like shot for shot. It's just beautiful. And we missed out on that. And then, like, her whole lasso of truth with Max Lord at the end, it was just... I like that, because I thought it was interesting. I thought it was well written. I don't understand how Max's powers work through a TV screen since it's established he needs to be touching people. I think if they didn't need to establish the whole touching thing, it would have made more sense. Yeah. Did he? Was it? Oh, yeah, because the touching of the crystal. Well, even that didn't even make sense because the dude that wanted the coffee at the beginning didn't touch it. Did he?
He did.
Or he was just... Oh, okay. All right. Well, then
because he was joking around. But I don't know what his consequence was. It would have been funny if, like, the coffee was...
like
cold.
Or like had dairy in it and he can't, and he's just like, damn, can't drink this.
Yeah. Or like as he's walking away he's fired or something for, I don't know.
He's just like a piano falls on his head. The consequences are just getting out of hand at this point.
Okay, that's also an issue I had with the film. The action was very cartoony and like
it was
too cartoony
weird.
In some places. Like, when she tosses that little girl into, like, the teddy bear and then, like, winks at her.
That was, like... I liked that part.
It reminded me a lot of Matilda, actually.
Yes. Yes. Wow, it did. What I didn't like is how, like, her feet glided.
Oh, yeah.
If, like, I get it and I understand what they were trying to... But it just didn't look right. It looked weird.
It didn't look right. It looked like it was a mistake.
And also, because they have her in, like, these wedges... It looks even weirder, and you're like, is that the shoe that's doing it? Like, does it propel you? Like, just...
But I like the use of her tiara is always really fun, because I like that from the Linda Carter show.
And I do like...
I like Linda Carter. I thought that was a nice little, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, it was. It was cute.
My boyfriend didn't get it. He's like, oh, who is that? I'm like...
Oh, no.
And of course... What?
Oh, I thought you were just going to be like, he didn't know who Asteria was. I'm like, oh, whatever. Yeah, of course. Like,
He didn't know who Linda Carter was.
Oh, that hurts.
I will say the movie's opening scene is perfection. I would not change a single thing.
In the mall?
On the mascara.
Oh, on the... Yeah, that was good. That was actually really good.
I love how Robin Wright's... I can't remember her name. Robin Wright's character is like, you cheated. You don't win because you cheated.
And it didn't really... Okay. It was kind of a stretch. I mean, I just didn't get how that tied into the whole Max Lord thing. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it felt really pulled thin at that point. I was like, he's cheating, I guess, but it's like so beyond cheating at this point. It doesn't even make sense.
I don't like that we tried to redeem him. Like, why can't... I like my villains just being villains, okay?
even I like that Cheetah wasn't like trying to be redeemed. She's just like, no, I want to be a badass. Like, Diane, this is who I am now.
Fight. I strongly believe that Barbara did not resent her wish and still has powers.
Oh yeah, it's something like that. It's something.
And I hope Wonder Woman 3 is her trying to get the cheetah. I also would have been nice to know why she became a cheetah.
Why it was like a cheetah specifically.
Like, I like the idea of her wanting to be an apex predator, but like, cheetahs are not
the top
really
of the top.
That
cheetahs
are kind of just like survivors.
Wouldn't an apex? Wouldn't that be a human? Aren't we?
She just becomes like a man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But the best scene in the movie is when she's running and she confronts the guy that attacked her. Also, her being attacked, that was also a really like shocking scene.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
But her like kicking him and she's just like, this is easy. Like, that was like, because I just see Kristen Wiig as like a comedian, because that's what she is known for.
She's an amazing comedian. Yeah.
But I like, even when she was like sexy Barbara, she was still kind of like awkward and jokey, because it's like, yeah, you're gonna like, at the end of the day, you're not gonna transform overnight. You're still gonna be like who you are.
You're gonna have those little quirks or whatever.
Yeah, and
wish Kristen Wiig does so good at little quirks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I wish they would have explored her and Diana's friendship a bit more. Like,
Pedro Pascal did a great job as Max Lord, but also we didn't need him. This could have just. It
would have been more interesting if we like, because I like the idea. He's very 80s, and I like that idea of the, like the selling of the fool's gold, like you're selling nothing. Because that's also like the 80s was such a big time for like pyramid schemes and all that shit. That worked out perfectly, but like, it's really upsetting because in the comic books, Wonder Woman, for people who don't know and don't really care, in the comic books, Maxwell Lord learns everybody's secret identities and is like gonna tell the whole world of who all these. So Wonder Woman snaps his neck because that's because he has when he talks, he has the power of persuasion.
I totally forgot that was that. That's
right. So Maxwell, he had the power of persuasion, I believe it was. So he basically made people do stuff. So Wonder Woman had to snap his neck because it was the only like option. But
doesn't she do it like on TV too?
She does it on TV too. She does it on TV, basically grabs his head and just like,
I am so glad.
And it's super powerful because then like the fallout is Wonder Woman just killed an innocent man on TV because everyone just thinks he's an innocent man because only the Justice League know he's a villain.
I am so glad I did not put that together before I went into this, because let me tell you how pissed I would have been to have such a passive Wonder Woman after not.
The awful thing is, Zack Snyder stole that for the Man of Steel, and it didn't work.
Oh, that's right.
Because like you can't really DC can't have all their superheroes solving their problems by snapping necks. And they can like. As much as I love that, it's like Batman comes in, just like snaps the Joker's neck.
Well, I mean, in Zack Snyder's, yes, it would. Batman would come in and start snapping necks, but it doesn't. Oh, see, that doesn't really fit well with Superman for me. I don't know. Anyway,
I think the problem with it didn't work for Superman because he was like protecting like a family of 3, and there was really other options he could have done. But yeah, I do wish that Wonder Woman. I don't like passive Wonder Woman. I'm not a big fan of Wonder Woman.
Wonder
as, like,
Woman
the
came here
mother
to
of
kick
the
some
Justice
ass.
League.
Let her kick some fucking ass. She's one of the best
Yeah.
ones at it. She'll take down fucking Superman. Like, come
I think
on.
not using Zack Snyder's stunt team was a mistake. Because as much as people give Zack Snyder shit, like the scene with Wonder Woman in No Man's Land, like, was fucking amazing in the first film, and that was all his crew.
Yeah.
And also they got rid of Alan Heinberg, who wrote the first film and is the one who kind of gave them that like Diana is like a princess out of like the magical Disney princess thing,
Fish out of water type thing.
Yeah, because they borrowed very heavily from like the Little Mermaid. Like when Steve is on the beach, is very much the Little Mermaid. And also Alan Heinberg.
Your word.
Yeah, but he's also a comic book writer and has written Wonder Woman and gets the character.
Yeah, I hope they do bring him back for the third one because I liked. So what I like about what Patty does in her movies is it feels like you're watching a comic book. Like a lot, if not most, of her shots are done like I'm
Patty
looking
Jenkins
panel
is an amazing
to panel.
director.
Phenomenal, except for fight scenes at some points, but
I think she's an
phenomenal.
Oscar-winning director.
Maybe. Who knows? I am not good with directors.
She is not great at action scenes, but that's fine. You don't need to be. Like,
No.
for Marvel, none of their directors really direct the action scenes. Marvel has their own, like, action director unit, and they just do
And that's
it all.
why it all looks cohesive from movie to movie. Like, they get it.
Like,
Marvel
I thought
gets
the White House scene I liked, except for Diana trying to, like,
Save
protect the
that
people.
was the weirdest. After she was just beating their asses down the hall, she's like, "Oh, hold on, I
Yeah.
can't let them fly into a door." Like,
But
Diana, what the
I
fuck are
like
you doing?
I like Cheetah confronting Wonder Woman, and like they could have extended that fight. Do you want to talk about them getting electrocuted in the water and your
So spoilers for Titan season 2, the finale there. In it, at the very end, Wonder Girl is attacked by a telephone wire and electrocuted to death. Then we go to Wonder Woman, and her and Cheetah are fighting in the water, and just this big ol' electric thing flying around, shocking people, clearly showing it does not affect Wonder Woman in the slightest.
I thought they were killing Cheetah off, and I was like really upset.
I thought that was happening too. I was like, oh. But okay, so like, I understand they're not within the same realm or anything, but when that happened in Titans, that was the most infuriating. If you want to kill off Wonder Girl, kill off Wonder Girl. But do it in a believable way, not that she got electrocuted. Like,
I like to believe that Patty Jenkins was watching Titans and was like, no.
she's like, fuck this. I'm gonna hold on. You guys, we're gonna actually, if you could add in some electricity, we're shooting this whole thing different now. Oh god, I hope Patty's that petty. Oh, I love it.
But I don't think Patty Jenkins likes superheroes or comics in general, so I doubt she was watching Titans.
And I think that's really kind of crazy, just with what I see, like, what I think she does better than anyone else who does comic book movies is that it does feel like I'm watching panel to panel. Like I could see this drawn in a book. And a lot of times it feels more like everything's just being shot for a movie. And with Wonder Woman 1 and this one, like it feels like it's ripped out of a comic, yet it isn't. Like, I mean, maybe she took some shots from certain things because I don't know much about Wonder Woman comics, but it feels like it throughout the movie, not just certain moments that like, oh, that was probably ripped out of like some issue from nowhere.
So I'm going to be honest. She basically took all the Wonder Woman material and threw it out the window. Nothing felt like a Wonder Woman comic. At least to me. It felt like a comic, but it felt like a comic from the 70s, not a comic, or like 60s or 70s. It felt very like that. Mm-hmm. But like in the 80s, comics were becoming much darker. Like that's when like The Killing Joke came out and the Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Like, so it's, I almost wish this
Frank
movie,
Miller ruined it for everyone.
well, like that's also when like Spawn and like everything was becoming much more grittier. And I feel like this movie should have taken place in the 70s because it borrowed a lot from like the Wonder Woman TV show and this Christopher Reeve Superman films. Like it felt like it was borrowed from all these 70s things, and it would have worked better in the 70s.
Well, I think what would have been really cool is have it the 70s, have Cheetah in this one, and then have the next film in the 80s and have Max Lord. Like, I mean, also you can't, well, Marvel would have this planned out 5 movies from now, but we know DC, for some reason,
like,
hates everyone and doesn't want anyone to be happy.
Because, like, not to, like, bash Marvel, but, like, the first couple movies were, like, nothing was really planned, and even Kevin Feige's admitted it. Things kind of just, like, fell into place for Avengers, and then he made a plan.
Yeah, and,
but DC needs to, like...
Well... You also, Marvel didn't have another superhero, supergiant making movies to set the blueprint for them and let them know, like, hey, yeah, this will work. Meanwhile, DC's like, are we sure? Are we sure that people know what superheroes are? Are we positive? No, Batman's parents need to die. Thank you. Yes. Pearls scattered everywhere.
It's so weird, because, like, if you go back to, like, before Marvel kind of hit big, and you asked anyone like, oh, do you know who Iron Man is, Captain America, Thor? Most people are going to say no, or like don't know much about them. Or have
I knew about Captain America? I knew that he threw Wolverine.
But if you ask people around the world, because like people around the world know who Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman is. They're like, yeah, there's a reason why people have just like random merch and like whatever. And
also like X-Men, like Marvel's bread and butter at the time was X-Men. Like that's what everyone knew of Marvel.
Fox owned X-Men.
Oh, poor.
Like I'll give it to them. Like turning like B-list characters into like billion-dollar movies, like that took
a fucking raccoon.
Of, like,
a fucking raccoon is like dominating everything.
Well, the fact that they made a character like Nebula, who like nobody knew who that was, is like as one of the most like interesting characters in the entire Marvel universe.
My favorite.
Blows my mind.
My favorite.
Blows
like, she's
my
the best.
mind.
She's the best.
And if you would have asked me who Nebula was like 4 years ago or before Guardians 1, I would have been like, I don't know what that is.
She never entered an X-Men panel, so no, I did not know who she was. Because that's like, I'm not, like, with Marvel, it's X-Men, and then with DC, it's Batman and like a few others, anything like Justice League related. Like, I don't have allegiance. I could care the fuck less. Like, I've been through so much shit as like an X-Men fan. Like, you can't phase me. You can't phase me. Like, I've seen it all. Like, just DC just needs to get their shit together. That's it. Like, at this point, I want them to succeed, but I don't think they want themselves to succeed.
It's just so hard because then you got like the Joker that didn't really fit anywhere, and you got like the Robert Pattinson Batman that doesn't fit with the Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
And now they're like, oh, but it's a multiverse
Snyder
now.
Cuts.
Like, what?
Okay, the multiverse is stupid. I'm not looking forward for Marvel to do it. I think it's it's very like gimmicky, and it doesn't feel like it's very story driven. So I'll give it a chance, because like like a part of me would also love just to see all 3 Spider-Men show up together. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but it's gimmicky.
Well, okay, so I like it for Marvel. I hate it for DC, because Marvel, it feels like it's being part of their universe, and it's actually it's part of their story that they're like doing. Whereas DC's doing it because, well, we fucked up somewhere, so like,
because like
there's
DC's
12 Batmans.
Like,
as a reaction.
Yeah. Like, why would you make your first Flash movie an Elseworld movie?
I think it would have worked better if there weren't like, here's another Batman, here's another Joker, here's like
also
that.
DC. Another one of their problem is like, because they have all these TV properties, you have like so many different versions of a single character. It kind of splinters because like the CW shows are like they're not making billions of dollars, but they have a fan base.
Oh
so
yeah,
like, pretty much
there's
like,
a reason why it carries the fucking CW network. Like,
well, because it's like, okay, well, you love all these characters and these actors, but ignore it. Because it's very weird that they're doing a Superman and Lois show, but like also J.J. Abrams is doing a Superman movie, and like,
wait, what?
You have Supergirl. Oh yeah, J.J. Abrams is doing a Superman movie.
Like, not a sequel to Man of Steel?
He hasn't decided yet if he's going to still use Henry Cavill.
Here. I hate it.
I'm like,
here.
But like, I love Henry Cavill. He's such a good Superman.
Why? This is so...
It's so confusing.
Annoying. So we have this one story that they're just not even going to continue. Like, oh no, I'm sorry. We're getting like 22 new movies through HBO Max, including their most prominent black superhero is going to debut on HBO Max instead of in theaters. Like,
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Static Shock would be a big hit as a movie.
I do. Static Shock was huge. I
know. Okay. People act like the Static Shock animated series was huge. The ratings were not that great for it.
Huge.
No.
Okay, I love Static. Oh, it was so good. Static Shock was so...
But what I think they should do is, if, like, I don't know if they could, but I'd love to see just like the Snyder, whatever, verse or whatever you want to call it. Stick that to HBO Max. I would love to see these like turn into TV shows and have be that universe.
Let him do his thing over there and then like do some, I don't even know at this point. It's
but
so
then also
fucked.
Like I don't really want a different Wonder Woman because I think Gal Gadot is perfect as Wonder Woman, and it'd be weird to have two Wonder Women going around.
I would love to see another Wonder Woman. She can't. I'm sorry. She can't act.
She can't. No. Okay, Gal Gadot cannot act, but like. That's what was good about the first movie and like the Zack Snyder movies. They didn't really need her to act. This one, when she was trying to be like funny, it just felt, because it's like you're trying to put Gal Gadot next to like Kristen Wiig, who's like a seasoned comedian.
She's an actress. Oh my god, Girl Most Likely. Oh, that is such a haunting.
Oh,
movie.
The Skeleton Twins is such a good film. I really liked her in. What else? She was in something else. That was good.
Are we gonna start your podcast, Kristen Wiig? I would kill myself in joy.
The only problem is she was on SNL like last week or the week before. Didn't do a single Wonder Woman skit, which really pissed me off.
No, what really pissed me off, we didn't get a fucking Target lady skit.
Well, she brought back. I fucking hate that like password lady she brings in, that celebrity, like the old
like it. I just don't care for it on that.
It's the same. It's not different. It's always been the same.
I was just pissed off we didn't get Target lady because she is literally like the greatest. And it was Christmas time. Like, I know it's the time of year.
It's the time for Target lady.
Yes. Whatever. What we talk? Okay, and then like, what are we gonna do with Justice League? What's happening with Justice League 2? Is that ever gonna happen? Even if it's not Zack Snyder's, because they're very much like, we're not Zack Snyder versing this outside of here, which I don't care. He can do what the he's not. I just want my Nightwing movie that I know I'm never gonna get, or I'm gonna get on HBO Max. That's all I want. Or Titans.
I would be okay with DC putting a lot of Batman stuff on HBO Max because like. They're all very much the same tone. I don't really need them all to need movies. Like,
yeah, I am right there with you. I just
even reading I read a lot of different Batman titles, and they all take place in Gotham City. And you're like, there's a lot of things happening in Gotham City that don't like overlap. I'm like, there's just. I know it's supposed to be like a big city, but like,
it's a big city.
You can't because like sometimes there's like. 10 or 11 different heroes working out of there at once.
I was just gonna.
There should be no crime in Gotham City. Either you guys are all very bad at your job, or there's just so much crime.
Like, oh, it's so crazy.
'Cause, like-
there's like, what, 12 Batman now?
There's like Batman, there's a few Robins, Nightwing, Batgirl. Like when there's
There's
the
only
Birds of
one
Prey were
Nightwing.
there for a while, so you got like Huntress and Black Canary.
Harley
And-
is now part of the team.
And then you also just have like the whole like the Gotham City Police are all there. It's like, it's just like this but like no one
There's a
really
lot going
ever
on.
like intercrossed.
Why don't they move him over to like Bloodhaven? Like,
Well, that's why they
don't-
moved Nightwing to Bloodhaven.
We need some other fictional towns around Gotham.
Well, Batgirl went to Burnside, but those books were so awful.
Wait, is that post? Which one did they retcon? Killing Joke.
Killing Joke still exists.
Well, okay, where they made her have the ability to walk again.
The New 52.
New 52. Ugh.
So what they did is she was still paralyzed, but got better.
Oh, fuck. They just...
Because, like, yeah, and then she moved to Burnside, which was like the Brooklyn of, because she became a hipster.
So it's just a borough within Gotham?
Yes. Well, it's like how...
That is the dumbest shit.
No, but we discussed this, like how all the Marvel characters kind of all happen in New
Oh,
York.
all in New York? Yeah.
Like, Hell's
Oh,
Kitchen has
God.
its own set of heroes.
Hell's
and,
Kitchen has like 8 heroes.
I know.
And that's a small little place.
I'm like, there's like there's other criminals in the world, like, and then it's like,
Nope.
but then why is this like 4 blocks not like the safest place in the world? Why is there still a lot of murder going on?
Isn't that
here?
where you would want to live?
I
No,
know.
because the buildings are getting destroyed because
I
there's
know.
so much just crime.
But at least like a lot of the heroes there are just like non-powered heroes.
They're just super strength heroes.
yes, they're what Netflix could afford.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. You have, yeah, all 4 of them, right? Because Daredevil doesn't do anything. Well, okay, he doesn't have any like superpowers.
Like Jessica Jones has like TV superpowers where like she can jump and then like quick cut to another scene. And then like bend a plastic pole.
Her superpower is to quick jump.
Or just like hop down. Like
Oh my god. And then Luke Cage, same. It's just, oh my god, that's hilarious. Where else I guess Asgard. I mean, at least Thor has a whole nother planet. Yeah, you couldn't really have Thor have any part of New York because that would just be super unrealistic. So you're telling me the God of Thunder is only protecting Brooklyn? Like, is it Miles over there? What's...
because what the X-Men are all in New York too, right? They're like upper state New York.
The X-Men travel the fucking world. I won't hear this. They get in their jet and fly.
Just because Storm is from Africa doesn't mean they're
Also-
worldwide heroes. Okay?
Also, no. The second round of X-Men were created because they wanted international. Nightwing's from Germany. Colossus is from the USSR, now Russia.
did you just say Nightwing's from Germany?
Nightcrawler. Maybe I said
Oh.
Nightwing. Nightcrawler.
They got
Storm-
blue. It's so very confusing.
Scott is from Ohio. That's like a third world country over there or something. Who knows? Yeah, but no, they're international. They get in their X-Jet and fly around. And also, now they're in Krakoa. So that's they have their own island. They're good.
Didn't the island get destroyed? Isn't that how Emma got her second power?
Krakoa's been around for a while. It's making a resurgence now, and it's great and it's amazing. We stan House of
What
X,
was the other one?
Powers
Was the
of
other one like
X.
Genosha or something?
Yeah, the Isle of Genosha.
That's the one, because I read that. That's where like
Moira
Emma-
is.
that's when Emma's second powers manifest, is because she's like in a cave and it collapses on her and kills a bunch of people.
And you know, the only reason she even had diamond power is because what's his name couldn't get Colossus for his books because they had just killed Colossus.
Who?
And Morrison.
Oh.
Morrison wanted Colossus, not Emma, but they're like, hey, he just like sacrificed himself to save all the X-Men.
So he needs to stay dead for like
maybe,
at least a year.
Yeah, like it's been 6 months. We need like this to cool down a little bit. And then he's like, okay, well, I'll have Emma and she's gonna have this diamond skin now. And
hey, I think that's one of the coolest things to happen. Emma with diamond skin is like unreal.
Dude, it's like one of the most badass, like,
but I also,
she's a telepath.
But what I really like about it is like, because in some comics she can't use both at once, which I find interesting, and then other times she can. It's very inconsistent.
Yeah, but all you need to know is she has them. So she can. You just don't know when she'll use them.
I mean, that's like, I know people hate January Jones, but I thought she was a really good Emma Frost. I just thought the movie failed her.
I would have liked to have seen her do it with a better script, because
the fact that Magneto was able to choke her in her diamond form like enrages me.
They killed Darwin.
Oh, yeah.
The mutant that can't die, who adapts to like, literally everything.
All the non-white male characters seem to have like, their powers are very much not on par.
They're a lot stronger, and then you have your one black character who's like, I can't do anything, bye. It's insane.
That's so weird.
Anyway, so I guess we didn't really talk about the new year.
This is really turned into like a superhero review. Okay, well, since we're on this theme, what are the three superheroes you want to see in the big screen that haven't been on the big screen before?
That's not. Oh, wait, that. Because mine would
or
be
like
X-Men, but they've all been there almost. Okay, in some horrible way.
Okay, then who would like? Can you pick people who haven't been on the screen before? I guess because like that's fair.
Oh God, yeah, put me on the spot. I want Titans. I want a Teen Titans movie. I think what they should do is Contract as a live action movie. I think Judas Contract would be an amazing live action movie.
But the only problem with that is you need to like set up this world, and like that's why Marvel can do the Young Avengers, is because like they've 10 years in the making. It's just, it'd be weird if all of a sudden you have these Teen Titans.
That's true. But you didn't ask me to make it realistic as well. I mean,
You're
like, what do I want to see?
Like, I want to see Starfire on the big screen. I would love that, because I don't think the show is able to do it right. Like, I like the actress is fine, but I don't like this.
So fucking good.
I don't like this idea, and it happens a lot more with female characters, that they have like limits to their powers. Like, because she seems to like lose like charge a lot, and in the comics, Starfire is like a force to be reckoned with. She goes toe to toe with Wonder Woman, and like, is fine.
And I get like it's a TV show, so you've got to work. But honest, like it's just at this point, it's annoying. Like just let her do something. But this is also the show that kills Wonder Girl with a telephone wire. So what the fuck?
I don't know. It's also just like, I remember watching. I know this is a good example, but like the Fantastic Four movie with Jessica Alba, like she passes out because she's like uses her powers like too much. And then like when Black Canary, like in Harley Quinn, she uses her powers once and like passes out because she's like,
saw this like super cut on Twitter of Jean Grey using her powers and passing out every 5 seconds, and it is the funniest thing to ever happen to anything, because it's true. Like Jean would just like pass out from a headache every 5 seconds because she was uber powerful, and they don't know how to deal with it. The Jean Grey
I kind of understand is because they didn't know what to do with it because she is uber powerful, but like, come on, like. You don't see Professor X passing out like,
Professor X wishes he had half the power Jean had. At least let Emma be the one comparable. Like,
I really hope, I believe Kevin Feige, I want him to do the Grant Morrison lineup of characters.
I would like that. Honestly, I would love what's going on with the current run, but I think as much as it's welcoming to new people, there's so much you kind of have to know somewhere in the back of your head because it's such a new. Oh, it's so good. But I think Morrison's run would be really ideal for that. What is that? 2001 run, 2002,
something like that. Yeah.
But what I'm scared of with X-Men, it's the one thing I want most on the screen is just to see them in all their, I think, like cheesy glory. Like I want some cheesy ass suits somewhere. Like we deserve it. But I think it's gonna be, they're so like radical left of a viewpoint.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like the Avengers on the center stage. Like you kind of like, I don't know if Marvel's gonna be able to do it.
That's why I would like them to keep them in separate. If you're going to do the multiverse, then keep the X-Men in their own little multiverse. Like, I've never liked when the two cross path because it makes no sense.
It's weird. Especially like Inhumans versus X-Men, horrible. Avengers versus X-Men.
Well,
horrible.
Marvel, Kevin Feige made it very clear the Inhumans are not happening.
Thank you. Those are garbage. Inhumans
I don't
are
understand.
garbage.
Like,
I'm
I still
sorry.
don't understand the point of the Eternals. I feel like he made that movie because he like didn't think he was going to get the X-Men, and he's going to stuck with them.
That's true.
Because no one ever talks about the Eternals.
He's wanting Guardians 2.0 is what he's wanting with Eternals. I mean, look, everyone said it about like who the fuck are the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now everyone stands a fucking tree in Raccoon. Like, why am I saying raccoon that way? Raccoon.
It's weird.
But yeah, I don't think they'll take the X-Men that far left. Like, can you imagine, like, with a serious face, a Magneto was right faction going on somewhere within the Marvel universe? Like, it just doesn't, like, and is somewhat part of, like, the good guys. Like, that's also part of what's so great about the X-Men is, like, the bad guys become the good guys, because it's just them versus humans at the end of the day. And I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off.
Cyclops went all, like, super, like...
Oh, when he got possessed by the Phoenix Force?
Was he possessed by the Phoenix Force?
Like this last run? Where he was pretty much like, we need to see like, Magneto's...
it was because the Phoenix Force, it was right after the Phoenix Force, but he was still kind of like him and Emma against... That's when Emma was wearing all black, like a badass she is.
Mm.
That's when he had the X. His visor was an X.
Which I love that design. I think that's a really cool design. I don't know. Emma, I love her, and
she's such a hard sell, though. Because the only problem is, like, I want Emma to, like, look like Emma, but you're just gonna get a weird backlash, because she basically is wearing, like, a bikini top and, like, hot pants.
And a coat sometimes.
And a fur-collared coat.
That's all we really need. That's all we need from her. But they won't... I would... Actually, okay, there we go. That's... we gotta cut this quick here. My one thing I want on the big screen is Hellions. I want a classic Hellions run. I want us to get to the X-Men through Emma Frost. I think a Hellions run could just be so fun. I think that's what they should have done instead of New Mutants. Because honestly,
I will say
the only thing good about New Mutants is magic. That's about it. It's like, she's amazing and perfect, but I cannot read through New Mutants. If you know a good New Mutants run for me to read, please let me know. But this current one, I couldn't get past the first issue. It was so boring, and there wasn't enough magic. So, what's the one thing you want to see, comic book wise, on the big screen?
I would like the Bat family on the screen, like actual, like, give me like a proper Robin, give me a Nightwing, give me like, because you're gonna give me a Batgirl.
Which Robin do you want?
I mean, I want Tim Drake, but it's gonna be Damian. But it's gonna be Damian. It's gonna be Damian.
No, I think doing Damian would, unless they're doing a Ra's al Ghul story, I think Damien would be too much backstory to have in there. I think Tim would be the easier way to go.
It's basically Talia al Ghul rapes Batman and gets a son out of it, but...
Yeah, and that might be a little weird
I think
to just throw out there.
I mean, like, I would also... The only problem with having the Bat family is you need time. Because, like, I love Jason Todd, but you need to give him time. He can't just show up as Red Hood.
Well, you could and then do flashbacks.
I guess.
Actually, that could be the Bat Family. It's Bat Family versus Red Hood. Remake fucking Arkham Knight on the big screen.
Give me like Arkham Asylum. Or give me any of the Arkham games as a movie. I would love a movie, a Batman trapped in Arkham Asylum.
And I thought that's what fucking the Robert Pattinson thing was supposed to be, and now it's not. That's what we were told Matt Reeves was doing.
I want to see Poison Ivy. I want to see like the Rogues Gallery. I want to see
I would love
a proper Harley Quinn, but that's
Travis. You're so bitter.
Birds of Prey was a god awful movie. I don't care.
It wasn't god awful. Honestly,
say it.
I will rewatch it before I watch 84 because it's an hour less.
I have to. The biggest issue with Birds of Prey is they use the Birds of Prey name, and none of the characters are like...
It didn't need to be called Birds of Prey at all. It did not.
Also, the fact that, like, why you would not make, like, a Gotham City Sirens movie blows my mind. It's because, I get it, Margot Robbie wanted the spotlight, and it would be really hard if she was up against Poison Ivy and Catwoman. I get it.
I don't know this petty hatred you have of going on over here, but I know we've been through this.
But like, I am excited for Suicide Squad. She looks cool there.
Oh I'm glad she's God!
Black again.
I am so looking forward to that in 2021.
I just need Pete Davidson to like die in that movie
real quick, right out the bat. First 5 minutes,
like,
in,
but knowing James Gunn, he'll be like the secret main character.
First of all, he looks disgusting. Second of all, you hurt Ariana Grande, and we do not allow that here. Third of all, you still look ugly, and we do not want that.
He looks
here.
like he smells.
He looks like he smells. And I mean that in both the way that he looks like he smells putrid, and he looks putrid. Like, he's a gross man. I don't care if he has a 10-foot dick. It's 10-foot dick of smelly dick. That's what it is. 10 feet of smelly dick. And I don't need that in my life. You don't need that in your life. We need to wrap this up because this goes out in about an hour, and we're about at an hour now. So about 10 minutes time, but whatever.
This was a very interesting, different episode than we planned.
Apologize for that. Hope you had fun with this. Let us know. Did you like to hear us babble about
I'm gonna be honest. We definitely
bullshit?
We want to try some new stuff out because we're getting to the end of Veronica Mars, and we want to kind of see what the possible future could be for Europe.
Throw it against the wall and see what sticks. You know,
because Veronica Mars, unless a magical 5th season pops up, we are really got a handful of episodes left.
There's an end date in sight. There's a finite number coming up. Do you want a Batman X-Men podcast? Which would not happen because that'd be really weird. But also, I'm not doing... I would not do a general comic podcast because I do not subscribe to podcasts. I do not subscribe to comics in that way. I have the couple things I like and I stick to it.
I mean, if we could do a Nightwing thing, that'd be great for that.
I think that would be pretty finite as well. There's only so many decent Nightwing runs.
They're all
There's
pretty good.
4. There's 4 or 5.
I enjoyed the Nightwing stuff, except for when he was a spy, but
spy. That was weird. And his whole. I'm glad we're back to blue on.
The red was a weird choice because Red Hood wears red.
Not a choice I wanted or needed to happen. Blue just looks better on him.
But I am glad even in the red, the artist still gave him a great ass. That's the one defining feature.
If you're gonna have a Nightwing, you gotta have a bubble booty.
Yeah.
A little bubble booty. So that's our last episode of the year. Talk about Nightwing's bubble booty. And what's his Bitewing? His little doggy sidekick. We're gonna get
his like one-legged puppy.
Three-legged puppy.
I haven't
He's missing
like weekly. What did I say?
You said one-legged puppy? That would be far sadder. Oh my god.
I don't usually do monthly comics. I usually wait for the trades, but I will be picking that up monthly because
100%.
I want to read it and
I want to support it.
Yeah.
Also, what's his name is he's a good writer. He wrote
he did Injustice.
And he did his Injustice Zero coming out looks really good.
I'm like in the middle of Injustice Year 2 and I'm like, I forgot how fucking much I love these comics.
I'm gonna start reading them. But that, and he did X-Men Red, which was just this previous one. It was
I don't like Jean Grey's costume. I couldn't get past that.
I get it. I get it. Trust me, it's a different taste. I love it.
But there's a really cool cover of her and Emma Frost, because I like how Emma Frost looked there with like the trench coat.
Are you talking about the giant size Jean and Emma cover?
Maybe I am.
Because that's from this current run, and that's Jean is Marvel Girl in that.
Sorry. But I still just like her
You don't like the Marvel Girl outfit? That's like classic.
It's the big clunky like blue and red, right?
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, you're mixing up covers, I think.
Because the comic book shop I go to has that like plaster on their wall, and I really like it. But I just think Emma looks badass. I like her coat.
Emma's always, yeah. But yeah, he did the X-Men Red where it was Jean Grey as the leader, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. It is not my Jean Grey of exactly
she
how
wasn't
I
passing
see her
out enough from using her powers.
You know, like I need my damsel in a little distress, if you know what I mean. No, she was just a little too self-aware for my like.
Yeah, I gotta get back and read some of these X-Men comics. I'm very behind.
The
last run I read was the all new X-Men when they came from the past.
Jean's very
X-Men was gay.
Feels she's right, even though she's not. But it's that mindset. And anyway,
isn't she dead? I don't want to say they keep bringing her back.
No, oh my god, there's they bring that up in this current run because they we'll talk about it later.
I have it downloaded on my
good.
Amazon tablet.
So make sure to subscribe to the podcast so we can Jesus Christ. I need to stop talking. Subscribe to the podcast.
I don't know why you thought this would be a half hour. I don't know who the fuck you thought you were.
If you've gotten to this end, I'm sorry for any like pauses because literally I have no time to edit this. It's getting I'm putting it through some sound mixing and throwing it up.
Okay.
And anyway,
if you like what you're listening to,
subscribe to the podcast on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are at Veronica Mars Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. If you'd like to follow me personally, I am on Twitter at Ojo. That is OHJEAUX. Travis is also on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Truant. How do you spell that, Travis?
That is Travis, then TRUANT.
Perfect. That's beautiful. And just to hold myself accountable, I promise we will be back next week with an episode of Veronica Mars, Season 3, Episode 13. Don't know the title because I don't have it sitting in front of me, but I promise you.
We're only on Episode 13. I thought we were like on Episode like 12. Or Okay, let's wrap this up. I'm clearly done.
All right, we will see you all next week. Have a wonderful New Year's. Stay safe out there. Wear a mask. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Stay safe. Bye.
You tried to save Veronica Mars. We get it. Girl detectives are bitchier than regular detectives. Not into it.